They said the forest was cursed. Auren never believed in curses, but as he stepped past the last tree of the known path and into the twisted grove, he started to wonder. The air was different here, thicker, like syrup. The trees bent at strange angles, roots rising like grasping fingers. And beneath it all he could feel it. A pulse. Thump. Thump. Like a heartbeat. Buried under the soil. Auren was the village's herbalist in training, more interested in moss and mushrooms than myths. But when the crops began to rot and the earth groaned at night, the elders grew restless. They warned him not to enter the grove, said it was sacred, said it was sealed, which, of course, made it impossible to resist. He knelt by the oldest tree, its bark blackened and gnarled like bone. The ground trembled beneath him. He brushed away the moss, expecting stone, but found flesh. A thick gray surface, not bark, not rock, skin. The heartbeat grew louder. Auren ran. He burst into the village square, panting, wide-eyed. "There's something alive under the grove," he shouted. The elders froze, all except one, Elder Marn, the youngest of the circle, a quiet man with sunken eyes. He stepped forward slowly. "What exactly did you touch, Auren?" "I don't know. It was huge, like the forest itself is alive." Marn's lips curled into a smile. "That," he said, "was not the forest. That was Thalos." That night, Marn visited Auren in the herbalist's hut. He told him the story the other elders refused to speak. Long ago, giants ruled the land, shaping rivers, carving valleys, moving mountains with their hands. Thalos was the last of them. He protected the people of the valley until they betrayed him, binding him beneath the forest with roots and stone, fearing his power. To keep him asleep, the village made offerings, not sacrifices. Not exactly, just enough blood to keep him dreaming. But now, Thalos was waking, and Marn wanted him awake. "We were never meant to be ruled by frail men," Marn whispered. "Thalos will rise and I will stand beside him." "You want to control him?" Auren asked. "No, I want him to remember." Days passed. The earth shook more often. Animals fled the forest. Trees cracked and twisted overnight. Auren tried to warn the others, but the village was changing. The elders whispered behind closed doors. Offerings increased. People disappeared. And the heartbeat grew stronger. Auren returned to the grove under moonlight, carrying a stolen ritual scroll. He intended to seal Thalos again, to stop this madness. But someone was waiting for him. Marn, and half the village behind him. "You've done well," Marn said, stepping aside to reveal a massive stone altar, glowing with ancient runes. "We needed someone pure of intent, someone who would touch the giant's skin freely." "You used me," Auren said, voice shaking. "You opened the door." The ground split, roots cracked apart like snapped bones. The earth heaved, and then a hand rose, massive, weathered, alive. The giant's fingers reached into the sky. The forest shook. The villagers dropped to their knees. Thalos had awakened. The betrayal. Marn approached the altar, arms outstretched. "Thalos, it is I who remembered you. I who kept the blood flowing. The giant crushed him. With one effortless motion, Thalos slammed his hand down on the altar. Marn vanished beneath it. The villagers screamed, and then the giant spoke. His voice was the wind in the trees, the rumble of the earth, the roar of 1,000 storms. "You betrayed me once, you betray me still." Auren stood frozen. The giant's massive eyes turned toward him. "But not you." The villagers scattered, fleeing into the woods, their faith crumbling as quickly as the ground beneath their feet. Auren stood alone before the Titan. "You should destroy us," he said quietly. Thalos was silent. Then he lowered his hand. "I remember pain. But I also remember kindness. One soul is enough to tip the scale." And then, just like that, the giant began to sink back into the earth, the roots curling around him once more. But before he disappeared, he spoke one final time. "One day I may wake again. Tell them I remember." The forest grew quiet, the earth still, and Auren returned to the village, not as a boy who found a myth, but as the man who spoke with a god, and knew the day would come when the roots would rise again. If you enjoyed this thrilling tale of ancient power, betrayal, and rising gods, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a journey into the mysterious and the unknown. More stories await, right here in Whispers of the Woods. Until next time, tread carefully. Some giants never truly sleep.